Okay, what's changed in this example is that instead of just worrying about a inequality, we are looking at an absolute value inequality. So let's talk about just solving absolute value in general for a minute. If I have an absolute value of x is equal to any number a, then I know that my solutions are the positive version and the negative version. So x is equal to plus or minus a. Okay, so in an absolute value, when you have x less than or equal to any number, when your inequality is pointing at your absolute value, then that is a conjunction. And the word to remember is the word and, because your solutions, you're going to take only what is a solution of both. Okay, so it has to be a solution of the first version and it has to be a solution of the second version. That's where the word and comes in. And so you would tend to see your solution being parentheses or brackets that are facing one another, and you're taking what's overlapping, what's in the middle. Okay? Now, if my absolute value is greater than any number and my inequality is pointing away from my absolute value, this is partnered with the word or, because you basically keep every solution that you find. So it can be a solution of the first version or it can be a solution of the second version. And so you typically see your number lines pointing away from each other. And so when you write the interval notation for this type, you would be taking the first interval and you would do a union with the second interval, so that you're saying, I'm taking both. I'm taking both sets. Okay, so let's get to work solving this one. So the first time I write it the way it's written. I don't change anything. The only thing I do is take away the absolute value. The second time I write it, I'm going to multiply by a negative, and therefore my inequality has to flip. So I just flipped that inequality because I multiplied the 5 by a negative. Okay? Now, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. And I get x minus 3 greater than or equal to 10. Add 3. And I get x greater than or equal to 13. Then on the second one, again, I multiply by 2. The solving is the easy part. And I get x minus 3 less than or equal to negative 10. I add 3. And I get x less than or equal to negative 7. So now I want my number line. And on my number line, I mark negative 7 and I mark 13. And they're brackets because of the equal sign, but I'm taking everything less than negative 7 and everything greater than or equal to positive 13. And so my interval, negative infinity to negative 7, bracket, union, bracket 13 to infinity. And that's all you have to do.